Hey friends, Sam Haymart for Test Driven TV. Today we're test driving the 2015 Hyundai Genesis sedan. It's all new this year inside and out, and Hyundai would tell us it competes against cars like the Mercedes-Benz E-Class, the BMW 5 Series, and the Cadillac CTS, just to name a few. So today we're going to take it up on my favorite mountain road and see if it really does compete. With the 2015 Genesis, Hyundai continues its bold or perhaps brave strategy of marketing upmarket models under their brand name instead of creating a silk purse brand umbrella such as Toyota did with Lexus. The second generation Genesis gets the latest iteration of Hyundai styling called Fluidic Sculpture 2.0, showing blockier and more architectural forms, simpler lines, and a large prominent hexagonal grille. There's a healthy dose of LED lighting accents front and rear, but even the optional headlamps here are only HID. Its lengthened wheelbase shows in its front proportions, and an elongated roofline becomes faster at the rear flanks. Our 3.8-liter V6 model came with 18-inch wheels which look properly proportioned here and has dual exhaust tips at the rear, even with the base engine. Ours was optioned with the tech package, which has radar and camera-based driver aids that offer a good deal of safety enhancements but have the cost of a large blank spot in the grille area. It also came with a panoramic glass roof, which looks as handsome on the outside as it does on the inside. That panoramic roof brings a lot of light to the cabin and really creates a nice sense of space to our lightly colored interior. With the Ultimate package, our Genesis had generous slabs of genuine open-pore woods, aluminum trims, and soft-stitch leathers. Switchgear is laid out logically and offers a high-quality sense of touch, whether it be on the doors, center console, or on the steering wheel. That wheel has a plethora of controls for all things, solid-feeling paddle shifters, and is power adjustable. The center stack controls are down to business without a lot of pretentious design elements, from the console-mounted infotainment puck to the shifter and drive mode controls all the way up to the 9.2-inch display screen. It's easy to understand and navigate on the go. Its infotainment interface does have a bit of a learning curve to do simple things like set your favorite stations and presets and get to the navigation settings. Once you learn it, however, it works quite well, and the sound of its 17-speaker Lexicon sound system is exceptional. The instrument cluster, while appearing simple in design, also houses its own 7-inch display screen, which can be customized with any number of information sets, and ours had the optional head-up display which projects speed and lane-keeping information on the windshield. Front seats offered up supportive comfort with power adjustments on both sides, and they did feature heating and ventilation. The driver's seat gets memory settings for position of seat, steering wheel, and side mirrors. I think most passengers are going to find this rear seat area very comfortable back here, and being a long wheelbase car as it is, well, legroom is just fine, and these seats aren't all the way up by any means. Headroom's good, even with a big panoramic roof. The only thing that I find missing back here are heated seats at around $50,000. They don't adjust either. The seat backs or the lower cushions don't have adjustments, and that is something we're starting to see in this price range. Rear seat passengers will, however, enjoy the privacy and shade of the sunscreens on both rear doors and the rear glass afforded by the Signature package. The panoramic sunroof also extends far enough back to give a nice view upward. The thing that most strikes me about this interior is how well done it is and how genuine all the materials really come out. I have to hand it to Hyundai here. They've really put some focus into this car when it comes to the design, the fit and finish, and how well everything just flows compared to, say, the Equus, which is a larger, more expensive Hyundai. We tested that last year, and while the interior was nice, it didn't really have the same attention to detail, the direction of design. Here, this is a car that really is starting to fall into what I would call a design DNA for Hyundai. Our rear-wheel drive Genesis had a direct-injected 3.8-liter dual overhead cam V6 engine, which for 2015 offers 311 horsepower and 293 pound-feet of torque on regular unleaded fuel, and it comes mated to a smooth-shifting 8-speed automatic transmission. On the console are selectable drive modes which range from Eco to Sport. The latter quickens up that transmission and throttle response for the engine for more spirited driving, as well as dials in a bit more steering effort for firmer feel. This 3.8-liter V6 actually accelerates with a little bit of verve, and the best part about it is it does it in a pretty refined manner. It's not thrashy and noisy like a lot of V6s can be, and really I think my takeaway here with this engine is that for a base engine, it's not really at all a disappointment, and that can't be said for some of its competitors. You can option a more powerful 420 horsepower 5-liter V8, which also comes with that 8-speed automatic transmission, but does require premium fuel. All-wheel drive is available, but only with the V6 engine. The EPA rates our Genesis 3.8 at 18 mpg city, 29 mpg highway, and 22 mpg combined. In our testing, we however found it pretty thirsty and only achieved 18.5 mpg combined in our tank average. In fairness, however, much of our time was spent enjoying the mountain roads as you see here. The second generation Genesis gets a fully independent front and rear suspension with a high-feature 5-link design both up front and at the rear. Higher-end chassis and structural features like cast aluminum shock towers add increased rigidity over the last generation model. One thing I'm finding quite remarkable is how much more sorted this chassis is than the last generation Genesis. And I say that because I tested the last Genesis on this very same road, and in that car I got a lot of kickback in the steering on some of this rougher pavement, especially in corners where if you went over potholes or ripples in the pavement when you were cornering, it gave a lot of kickback in the steering. And here it's just smooth as silk going in and out of these curves over some of those rougher patches. And there still is quite a bit of steering feel to be had. It's just not transmitting all the rough stuff. I'm finding also that this has a very quiet ride up here on this highway, even on this pavement, which tends to really make a lot of tire noise. It just isn't coming up into the cabin, and wind noise, general road noise, very quiet here. I am getting a little bit of shuddering from that panoramic glass roof there, but that is part and parcel with these big glass roofs, no matter what the brand. And so overall, it's pretty impressive. The Genesis also gets high safety marks from the IIHS with their best ranking of Top Safety Pick Plus because it achieves good ratings on their full battery crash tests, including the rigorous small offset crash. It also offers what the IIHS calls superior crash test avoidance systems. I'm also pretty impressed with this vehicle's lane keeping system. Even up here on a mildly curvy road, I'm finding that if I sort of veer off the lane, it'll push me back in. That was actually the car turning the wheel there. Now I did get right over there on the shoulder, and it gave me a little bit of a vibration through the wheel in addition to actually steering me back into the lane. And we're coming to another curve here. I'll sort of let the car drift over here to the shoulder. Okay, the car's turning the wheel. That's not me doing that. It's actually following the lines with its cameras and doing a pretty good job of actually keeping the car in the lane. Now we're going to drift over here to the yellow. There, it's pushing me back in. And of course, as I said, it does give that nice little vibration to the steering wheel to let you know that you need to pay attention. Overall, I found the 2015 Hyundai Genesis displays impressive road manners not only around town as a cruiser, but on the back roads where you'd really take a drive to get away and have some fun. It has a pleasant demeanor all around, which makes it a car you look forward to getting into. Well, we made it up here to the top of the world with our Hyundai Genesis, and I say top of the world, that is really sort of the end of the line for Highway 88 here, at least where the pavement ends. And it's a great spot to stop and really sort of take stock of what we've got here. We've got a car that, in my opinion, really does match head-to-head many of the competitors out there that you can compare it to. And with this price here, it actually does offer a little bit more value in that way. I think when it comes to refinement, when it comes to chassis performance, build quality, the interior, the ride, everything really is pretty darn close, if not head-to-head, with what you can compare it to. Now, I'll admit it still does not have the brand provenance that, well, some of those other brands do. When you hear those other brands, you know what you think, and when you hear Hyundai, well, a lot of people have a different opinion. That said, when we look at the stars and measure it out, it actually performed quite well across the board. 4.5 stars for the week. I'm Sam Haymart for Test Driven TV. I hope you enjoyed the ride.